Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. In this video, I'm talking about journaling and the importance of journaling for your spiritual growth. I've been journaling for nearly 20 years, and I started my journaling experience when I was a college senior, worried about what came next in life and how to deal with the challenges of transitioning into my next life phase. My friend said to me, "Hey, I have this notebook. Do you want it?" And I said, "Yes, this is a great notebook." And I was drawn to start writing in it, this exact notebook, about my challenges, my worries, my concerns, about what might happen next in my life. And I've been journaling ever since. So from 20 years of journaling, from writing a lot, from researching about journaling, I've created my top tips for turning journaling into a spiritual development exercise. So, number one, I recommend writing alone. So, of course, journaling is a singular venture. This is something that when you are writing, it's not like someone is physically taking your hand and writing for you. But I further recommend actually being alone when you journal. When you are alone, you're able to create a cocoon around yourself, a cocoon of transformation that's going to allow you to have your fullest potential unravel and reveal itself. So no one is there to judge you. No one is there influencing what you might be thinking or feeling. No one is there even in the same room, tapping away, making noise, watching TV. It's so much easier to get into our own heads when we are physically alone. So I do recommend journaling alone. Now, of course, it's absolutely okay if you want to talk with someone about what you are writing in your journal. That is something that you may want to do. You may want to read your writing to someone else. You may want to talk about it with someone else, and that is absolutely appropriate, whatever works for you. But I do recommend that the writing of it be alone. There's a lot of research on how beneficial solitude is for us, and I believe that it's important for us physically, mentally, emotionally, and absolutely spiritually. So first and foremost, for your journaling for spiritual growth, I recommend writing alone, going it alone. This will allow you to get into your own thoughts without any worry or fear of judgment from others. So along with that idea of judgment from others, another rule I have, another tip I should say that I have, because with journaling there are no rules, and that is my tip number 2. No rules, so no worrying about grammar or sentence structure, paragraphs. Throw the rules of writing out the window. You do not need them. You do not want them. Well, you might want them, and if you do, that's okay. But the idea here is that you want to be uninhibited in the way in which you are operating on the page. So that means not worrying about proper, quote-unquote, proper sentence structure, not worrying about proper grammar, which, by the way, is a living, breathing, changing thing all on its own. So what isn't grammatically correct now will be potentially grammatically correct in the future, and vice versa. So anyway, definitely throw out the rules and focus instead upon the writing. Focus instead upon your thoughts, the feelings. That's what's important, not the fact that you are using a period in the right place, or a semicolon correctly, or a colon, or even a dash, and whether it's an N dash or an M dash, who cares? It's not about that. It's all about getting your thoughts down on the page. So tip number 3 is writing about your feelings. Yes, feelings. that's what's really important in what you are writing in your journal. So writing about your thoughts on a particular topic, your feelings on something. Writing for spiritual growth is all about writing as a way to uncover thoughts and feelings that you might not have been able to uncover otherwise, that you may not have been able to realize otherwise. So allowing yourself to really dig into your thoughts. Along with that is the idea of not censoring yourself. So this goes hand in hand with the idea of writing alone and feeling uninhibited. You know, it's really important for you to write in a bare, naked, raw kind of way and be able to say things on the page that really a lot of times you feel like you can't say out loud. This was the way that it worked very well for me when I first started journaling. You know, I was a college senior, worried about what came next, and research has shown that journaling is actually just as effective in many ways as talking with a counselor, a therapist, or a trusted friend, or someone else who you might talk with about your experiences, your fears, concerns. And so research has shown that it is just as effective. However, for me, I actually think that it's even more effective. And I think that it's even more effective because you can say things on the page that maybe you can't say or don't feel comfortable saying to another person or even out loud. You know, sometimes we have thoughts that we don't really want to say out loud or that we may not even want to really admit. But the page is a safe space where you can write those things down and uncover new depths that you didn't even realize were there. It really allows you to dig in and go deep into your experience. So, other tips that I have for journaling for spiritual growth. Now, of course, I could go on, but there's so much to say about journaling, and this one video cannot encapsulate all of that. So a couple other things I want to advise. I do recommend writing for 20 minutes. I am a big proponent of 20-minute spiritual practices. You'll see that in my work. I'm a big fan of 20 minutes of walking and 20 minutes of meditating. I also recommend this for journaling. Now, interestingly, the research backs me up on this. So I didn't go seeking research to validate this. I already had the idea that I thought, yeah, 20 minutes is a great amount of time. And then as I was researching, reading all kinds of books about my spiritual practices, how wonderful that the research tends to agree. And the research says that 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes of journaling is a great amount of time to really reap the benefits from journaling. So I recommend 20 minutes. I'm a big fan of 20-minute practices because it's enough time to allow you to get into something, to change your mindset, to get absorbed and involved in something, but not so long that you are feeling like you've lost half the day or that you're wasting time. So I like 20 minutes. It's a great amount of time to get into with your journaling. Now, if you don't have 20 minutes or don't feel like you can devote 20 minutes, don't let that stop you. You know, start with 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you have available to you. Use that. And you may find that you enjoy journaling so much and that you derive so much benefit from it that you want to keep going for 20 minutes or even longer. I've had journaling sessions where I've written for an hour, maybe more. Now, I'm not usually writing for that whole amount of time. I'll write, I'll pause and stop and think. Maybe I'll take a sip of tea. Maybe I will have a snack, you know, but I'll sit and contemplate. I'll look at the beautiful trees. Whatever it might be, I'm usually not writing for that whole amount of time. But while I'm not writing on the page, my mind is still going and thinking. And so maybe I'll write a little bit, I'll hold my pen at the page, stop and think, and then write a little bit more. So maybe I'm not writing for the whole amount of time, but I'm still sitting there, journal open, contemplating, thinking, and uncovering new depths that I am then writing myself further into on the page. I also recommend writing consistently. So this research that I mentioned, this is actually research from Robert Maurer in his book, One Small Step Can Change Your Life, the Kaizen Way. I am actually a big proponent of Kaizen. Kaizen is all about small little changes that add up to a lot. So I do recommend checking out Robert Maurer's work. But he actually writes about the consistency of journaling and how beneficial that is, and to derive the most benefit from it, you want to do it consistently. Now, I journal every day. I do that to varying extents. Sometimes it's for 2 minutes, sometimes it's for 2 hours. But I have found that in my experience, the times when I have been consistently journaling are the times when I have felt the healthiest mentally and emotionally and spiritually too. But I've also found that I've also found the times when I'm not journaling consistently are the times when I really need it. You know, maybe the times in my life when I haven't wanted to plumb too deeply into the depths of my experience for the fear of what I might uncover there, and wanting to avoid thinking about the experiences I was having during my life changes, challenges, and the transitions, whether it was work or love relationships, whatever it might have been. I maybe didn't want to think too deeply about it. But those were the times when I really did need the power of journaling. And so what I have found in my experience is that the times when I'm not journaling are the times when I need it the most. But I have been journaling consistently every day for 5 years at least. And I can say that it has made a huge difference in my mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So I recommend doing it consistently. My final tip for journaling is writing it out by hand. So I do recommend journaling by hand. You know, handwriting is really rather a dying art. The vast majority of everything we write these days is typed out, whether texted on a phone or typed out on a Word document. So handwriting isn't something that we really do so much of. Now, for some of us, that might be a good thing because our handwriting maybe leaves something desired. But I do believe that when you are handwriting, it is a more immediate experience of the writing. You're really able to get into it in a more intimate kind of way. There's no screen that is a barrier between you and your thoughts. It's just you and a pen and the page. So I do highly recommend that you write out by hand in your journal. Now, of course, if you must type out on a computer or another kind of screen, you know, maybe you have some physical limitations, maybe you have some other concerns, and that's absolutely okay. You're still going to derive benefit from journaling, even if it's not done by hand, the old school kind of way, but I really do recommend journaling by hand in order to get more into the experience. You know, another great benefit of writing it out by hand is that you can go anywhere. I don't need an internet connection. I don't need a screen. I don't need a plug in order to use my journal in various places all around the world. I've journaled all over the world in different kinds of places. And so a journal like this is so much more portable than something electronic, especially a screen where you might be typing things out on a laptop. So highly recommend writing it out by hand. Now, I could go on and on. There is so much to say about journaling. And so this video is not the end-all be-all of journaling, nor is it the end-all be-all of journaling for spiritual development. There are so many other tips and ways that you can approach it. The main thing is that you are approaching the journaling with the intention to dig into your thoughts, to uncover newness within yourself, things that you didn't realize you thought, different perspectives, new ideas. Yes, you can include in your journal poems and quotes and funny sayings, whatever you want. Remember, no rules. But really, for your spiritual growth and development, the best way to approach journaling is with that intention in mind. To say, I am sitting down here to think through things, to dig into my thoughts and feelings more deeply, to uncover new perspectives, and to grow and develop as a spiritual being. So, blessings to you, best wishes for you in your own growth and spiritual development. If you have ideas about journaling, please feel free to share them in the comments. Whether you have tips for journaling for spiritual growth, or you want to share how you journal, how you like to do it, then please, by all means, share and allow others to get your ideas about journaling as well. Best wishes to you with your journaling practice, and best wishes to you in your spiritual journey. Again, I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions.